Hello and welcome to the 2014 UCI Women's World Cup. We're here in the Netherlands for the start of racing this season. We're here for the Ronde van Drenthe. 128 riders, 22 teams embarking on the journey that will take them across 7 countries and 6 months of racing to find out who will take the World Cup win. Let's take a look then at the calendar for the 2014 season. A real buzz about women's cycling, with of course new races like the Tour of Britain and a new race on the World Cup calendar in Bochum, the Sparkassen Giro. Well, these riders will be racing all the way through to the 30th of August and we'll be bringing you all the action. Marianne Vos here, the defending champion and of course the World Road Race champion, choosing to start her season late and missing the first 3 rounds.
I've done the last few years double season, cyclocross and road and different disciplines combined. And that has been tough, so that's the reason I'll take some longer rest now and some longer time to build up again. And I think that's the best way. I've had a demanding cyclocross season, which ended well with the world title, and I want to start fresh and top shape again in the road season.
With Marianne missing from the start line here in Drenthe, this race is totally wide open. Alongside me, Rochelle Gilmore, we're going to take you through the ones to watch.
Anna van der Breggen will be the lead rider for Rabobank today. The best result she's had in the World Cup was 3rd in Plouay last year. Let's see if she can make that one better this year.
This rider's right on form, 3 podiums already this season and 2nd in the World Cup in 2013. Emma Johansson of Orica.
Feeling very good at the moment, and I had a really good winter. Haven't been sick and stayed away from injuries, and so I'm feeling confident. Like Drenthe is a difficult race though, because you never know what's going to happen, and tomorrow we do a lot of kilometers as well. It's 146, which is a bit longer than what we're used to, so it will be interesting, but I'm feeling good, so I'm excited.
Ellen van Dyke is the current time trial world champion, and she's in a Dutch team, and she'll want to do really well in this home race in the Netherlands.
I think it's going to be a really tough race because of course there are always the cobbles and the Van Berg. But there's also expected to be a lot of wind, so there can be some crosswind, and there are lots of strong teams, so it will be a hard battle, I think. Yeah.
Already with 1 win in 2014 and 2 podium finishes, the British champion Lizzie Armistead.
Yeah, pretty confident actually. I'm pretty excited. Last year I had a really tough season and I kind of turned it around. I did every training camp that was available to me. I went on every training camp the team offered, and I think it's paid off.
Georgia Bronzini riding for Wiggle Honda. She won over 20 races last year. It's the first race she's just come off the track, so it'll be the first race on the road for her this season.
Yeah, it's not my best temperature when I love to ride, but okay, it's a typical of this kind of race overall in this part of season. So I will try to warm up my body before to the focus of the race, and I try to be there when the fire on the race will burn.
Riding for Giant Shimano, a rider who loved the flatlands here in the Netherlands, who's just won the Tour of Qatar, Kirsten Wild.
And the teammate of Kirsten Wild, Amy Peters, much younger and less experienced, but a bright future for this woman. She's already won 1 race this season.
And a talented rider from Massachusetts, a stage winner in the Giro and a World Cup winner in China, Shelley Olds.
Typical Holland racing. We're very excited to be here. It's a World Cup, first World Cup of the year, so we're here, we're ready to race, and we like it when it's a little bit, chaotic and intense, and it always is here in Holland.
The 128 riders on the start line here in Hoogeveen. A cold start for these riders, 8 degrees centigrade, and the wind is blowing. That could mean that we'll see echelons and many riders in the gutter as this race continues. So the peloton rolling out, the 22 teams taking to this course. 146.6 kilometres, and it's pretty much totally flat until they hit the climb of the Vanberg. It is one for the strong riders, but possibly the Vanberg will be the place that one rider may look to seek their fortune and race into the finish, attacking over the top of this man-made climb. They race through the finish line, go back out on another circuit before we see the conclusion of the first round of this year's World Cup. The only climb on the course, the Vanberg, it's a man-made climb, but it is certainly a place where the riders will look to attack over the top and race into the finish at the conclusion of the race. Well, we pick up the race now with 60 kilometres to go, and as we can see, we're on the nice wide roads, and on the front of the peloton right now, Rochelle, are the Rabobank team. No surprise, the wind's blowing, and these riders looking to try and put this race into the gutter.
Well, absolutely, with or without Marianne Vos, they're here in full force and they really want to have a good race today. The race normally happens on the cobbles. They're over the cobbles now. I think they've been waiting this year for the crosswinds, and we can see now that those strong teams are at the front and they're about to make this race extremely hard.
So we're seeing here the team in orange and white, the Rabo women's cycling team. 6 riders in each squad, of course, which makes controlling a race a little bit difficult for any team to dominate.
Well, that's the case in women's cycling for World Cups. They allow 6 on the start line, so you need to have all those 6 riders in full force without injuries and not injured. And most certainly if you get to this point of the race with 60 kilometres to go and you still have 6 riders, you have a massive advantage.
Well, the pace is certainly pretty hot at the front as we see this giant Shimano team also getting involved in the action. We're starting to see some splits further down this peloton now. Such is the force and the pressure that this Rabobank team is starting to exert on the rest of the riders. The pace is pretty rapid now, and we are seeing a group race away.
Well, this is the type of race that Rabobank are extremely well. They're extremely well prepared for. They know the roads really well, and obviously they've. Everyone was wondering why it was so calm across the cobbles, but they knew that this would be the danger place. And look at that, it's splitting to bits. You see a Orica rider there dropping the wheels, so that could be the end of that part of the race, and the bunch is really going to dwindle down at the moment.
So a really critical moment in this Women's World Cup, and we have a group of riders now starting to race away. At the front of this group is the British champion onto the narrower road, and that is Lizzie Armitstead. And looking to me, Rochelle, here, like one team has missed out, and it's this squad. It is the team of Orica, and Emma Johansson now having to put in a really big turn to try and make the split.
Well, she would have been the absolute outright favourite for today's race, and look at that, she's lost the split and she needs to. It's not easy. I mean, it looks like the gap's not big there, but this is a really windy section where Rabobank wanted to do the damage, and they've managed to drop Emma Johansson. Oh, there she goes now. She's putting in 100% effort to see if she can get across, but no matter what, if she gets there, that's going to take some energy out of those legs. Yeah, those legs will be stinging now. She was the winner of this race in 2009. Emma Johansson, a Swedish rider, who of course was a silver medalist in Beijing in the Olympic Games. But the riders on the front of this group know there's a split, and they are looking to fully commit. It is Lizzie Armistead who was looking around and looking at the rest of these riders. And back here, there are riders talking into radios, and one other rider who's missed it is the double world champion, Giorgia Bronzini. Looks like she's on a mission now to see what she can do. Normally it's not her job. She's a little isolated, as was Emma Johansson, to take the responsibility upon herself. You can see she's a pure sprinter. She's on the front of the bunch, and she's giving it one last effort to get back into the bike race. 13 riders then on the attack in the Ronde van Drenthe. The wind is playing havoc across these flat roads, and this race is splitting up considerably now. Many riders in trouble. They may never see the front of this bike race ever again. The echelon starting to form in the chasing group. Bronzini can see the front group, but is she ever going to get there? Well, this looks like it is coming back together, so the group behind must have worked extremely hard. Emma Johansson made it into that group by herself. She could have made the choice to wait for the group behind and take an easier ride back in, but she didn't want to take risks. And that's something about Emma Johansson. She takes it upon herself. She doesn't rely that heavily on teammates. She's here by herself, isolated from other Orica AIS teammates, and it'll be difficult for her from this point on.
We're on to the climb of the Vanberg now, the second time up this man-made hill. 44.5 kilometres of racing remain in the Ronde van Drenthe. As we see a problem there for a rider on the right-hand side. One of the Orica riders has been left and looks like may need a bike change, whilst at the front there is an exertion of pressure and many riders here involved. Here we are, Lizzie Armitstead is left at the side of the road, talking into her radio, asking for a bike. And on these narrow roads, Rochelle, you can't get through with a team car.
It's really difficult because in a women's race there's only one team car on the course, and you could see that this breakaway had happened. They perhaps didn't have more than 1 minute from the riders behind, which meant the cars couldn't pass. So Luz Gunnewijk will have to wait at least 1 minute for her team car to arrive. So the race is unfortunately over for her. She's still standing there, obviously very upset about the fact she can't get a spare bike. And her teammate Emmy Johansson, that's favourite for the World Cup Series, given Marion Vos is sitting out a few of the rounds. This could change the dynamics of the rest of this season.
So another big attack here at the front, and it is the Rabobank team who are again trying to split this race up. It is Anna van der Breggen and Iris Slappendal who are now trying to split the race up again.
This is something that you don't see very often. Two bike riders from the same team just slip off the front like that. You can see the bunches hesitating behind. These two are getting a gap very quickly. There's not much action at this moment in the bunch behind them. It's a very unique situation that two riders from the same team of that strength would ride away from the bunch in a World Cup.
These two riders working very well together. This gap is now expanding. It is 20 seconds, the lead for these two Rabobank riders. Well, one of the riders in this group is Iris Slappendal, and she recently won the competition to design the leaders' jerseys. Hoogeveen has been to find out all about it.
I'm actually a product designer. I try to work in as many fields as possible. I have the skills, graphics or products or clothing or bags. I'm a pro cyclist, so that's my main job, and yeah, besides that I love to do everything what's creative. I saw the competition on internet and I immediately thought, oh, that's something nice to do. I think it's really nice that they have now 4 jerseys, so there are also some other, that you have the mountain, the sprint and the young riders jersey. So the competition was you could design just 1 jersey or all 4, and I immediately thought I have to design 4 which are together but also apart. The old jersey is like from the men's, and it's actually also never been a really nice fit. It's always been something from the past, and yeah, I thought to design something really fresh and new, a bit more feminine maybe, or a bit more bold. So it fits more with the new women's peloton. A jersey that fits with the bunch. I thought, no, I should not think about anything from the men's or the past. I just think what's a cool color and what fits with the World Cup colors, and I think the leaders jersey has to be the most outstanding in the bunch, and I think white is the most easy to recognize. For me it was clear that the leaders jersey had to be white, and the other colors were, yeah, more or less. No, I got a lot of positive reactions, yeah, from media but also from the girls in the bunch, in the peloton, and I'm especially curious if they also see the jerseys now in real life. But I think they're gonna fight for them, that's for sure.
Van der Breggen and Slappendal now heading towards the line to complete the run into the finish. They're going to go out on a loop now of 30 kilometres. Their advantage 55 seconds, and Slappendal now, having gone across the line there in the lead, will take the sprints jersey, so she'll be wearing one of her own designed jerseys on the podium at the end of this race.
Well, it looks like the group behind have really got their act together. It looks like they're starting to work together and try to close the gap on this. They can sense now that 2 riders from the same team away is not a good scenario.
On the front there, wearing number 32, is Chantal Black of the Specialised Lululemon team. But in second place there, they're looking round at each other. And from the helicopter, Rochelle, it looks to me like the chasing group has actually gone off course. They've gone totally the wrong way. Now they've got to go back, reform. Luckily, they've not gone a long way off course, literally just going down one road, taking a few yards. But that's going to cost them maybe 10 or 20 seconds.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to know what would be going through their heads now. Are they going to give up because they've lost time, or are the adrenaline's going to be pumping so fast? Look at that, they've lost about 30 seconds in that episode where they missed the turn. That should never happen, the road should have been blocked off. But as we know, the rule book says the riders must know the course, so it's always the rider's responsibility.
Absolutely. Well, look at these two riders then. Anna van der Breggen, a fantastically talented bike rider, a European time trial champion, third in the Grand Prix Plouay, a Dutch rider, but now on the front of the chase is the world time trial champion in the orange and black, teammate of Lizzie Armistead, Ellen van Dyke, trying now to get something moving to bring this race back together.
My guess is Lizzie Armitstead has asked Ellen van Dyke, please get on the front now and close this for us. I want to bring it back. I feel good. Got good legs and I want to make something of this race.
The chasing group is starting to have some impact now on this breakaway, and it is because this rider, Ellen van Dyke, is really putting the pressure on. She gets very close to the motorbike, and it looks to me like there is another split starting to be created. Such is the pressure being exerted by that strong time trialist on the front. 8 riders now going clear.
And Ellen van Dyke's driving it into the bottom of the Vumberg. While we see here Anna van der Breggen, she's decided to go hit the Vumberg, and she's said, see you later, Iris Slappendale, thanks for all your work today, but I've got to take this to the finish line.
Well, Rabobank putting all the cards now on Anna van der Breggen to bring home the victory in this first World Cup as we hit the base of this climb. And it is the British champion in white, Lizzie Armistead, who has used the teamwork of Ellen van Dyke, and now she is starting to sprint away up this climb. Lizzie Armistead really putting these riders under pressure now. This is a stunning move, and it looks to me like Johansson is trying to go with her, but she hasn't got the legs to get there, and Armistead now in full flight across the top of the climb.
This is incredible. We never often see Emma Johansson struggling on a climb like that. Lizzie's in the form of her life, and she's just about to pass Iris Slappendale now, and that's given her a little bit more motivation, and she's just going to put her head down now and see if she can pull in Anna van der Breggen.
Bit of Yorkshire grit now as she races across the top of the climb. She'll be onto the descent. Notice Rochelle as well. She's the only rider that I've seen in this peloton not even wearing arm warmers today.
Incredible. She was on the start line today. Every single rider in 8 degrees was freezing cold. And she's not just feeling anything today, Lizzie Armitstead. She's on a mission, and when you're in that zone, you don't feel anything. It's like, I've got a job to do today and I'm going to do it. She looks like she's on a mission.
She certainly is. Well, this is the chasing group who look a little bit lost right now. They don't look like they have got any concerted effort. They were led by Chantal Black. As we look here at Anna van der Breggen, fair play to her. She hasn't even looked round. She is concentrating on the workload. But behind her, there is one woman, and she is hunting her down. Armistead, just a few seconds now behind the leader. Can she get across? Has she got enough energy in those legs to close the gap on the rider from Rabobank?
Well, this is exciting, seeing Lizzie Armitstead back in great form after her silver medal at the London Olympics. She's in top form, and we can see here that she's just giving this everything she's got.
She's a tough bike rider. Last year she had a terrible season in her own books, because every race she was riding she was feeling real pain. She was being sick a lot. She found out she had a hernia, and now she has dealt with it and she's back to top form. Armistead now closing the gap on van der Breggen, and this is a time trial of something that we should all admire. Looking back now at the chasing group, we have got 6 riders left in here. Looks to me like towards the front of there is still Chantal Black in the colours of Lululemon Specialised, but on these little narrow roads, Armistead is looking to capitalise on the freedom that these 2 riders have got.
Well, Anna van der Breggen will have mixed feelings about this, because of course she'll like the help of Lizzie to get to the finish together, but also she knows Lizzie Armitstead has quite a handy sprint. She's got a very successful track career behind her, and she's very quick. So this is an interesting position now for Anne van der Breggen.
Confirmation then, 20 seconds is the advantage for the two leaders as we start to head towards the finish line now. Armistead will have to think through in her head, what does she do here? Does she ride on the front all the way to the finish and worry about her sprinter's legs not quite being there, or does she just fully commit? It's an interesting conundrum, and van der Breggen has to make an attack at some point.
Well, the group behind's not so far behind, and it's a very strong group. The thing is that I think they're all extremely tired. We see that Ellen van Dijk's in there. She's done a lot of work today. We've got Kirsten Wild, who's a sprinter, Shelley Olds, who's a sprinter. So they're definitely strong bike riders, but it'll be interesting to see how close they get to pulling these two back.
We see the red kite across the top of the road here. That signifies in bike racing 1 kilometre of racing remaining. The gap is 31 seconds, so it looks like they're pretty secure now. Van der Breggen has been manoeuvred by the rider in white, Lizzie Armistead, to the front. Armistead's got her exactly where she wants her.
She looks quite comfortable, Lizzie. She has all day actually for the last few races. She's already won a race this season, so she's in top form and she wants this, and she looks like she's got the upper hand at the moment.
Armistead, who was spotted by the Great Britain talent team who turned up at her school. She got out of maths and she rode a bike instead, and since then she has been a top rider at world level. Armistead now just following Van der Breggen, who is just testing the legs of the rider who started her career on the track in the British track squad, riding the World Cups and the World Championships. But it looks to me like it's not going to be possible. Armistead is almost riding like a track rider here, surfing on the wheels of Van der Breggen. When is she going to open up the sprint?
Well, she's moving wide like a track sprinter would to make their opponent go long, and she's decided, no, I'm going, so she's off, and that's a powerful kick by Lizzie Armitstead.
Armistead now putting in the full gas as she opens up the sprint. She is heading towards the finish line of the first of the Women's World Cup of 2014. The British champion sits up with a show of pure form, fantastic racing. Lizzie Armitstead wins at Ronde van Drenthe, and that was a stunning display of a rider at the peak of her fitness. So Armistead pulls over to the side of the road. She is greeted by her soigneur and her team managers, but what a bit of teamwork today by the Boels-Dolmans team. Here's the sprint then for third place. In the yellow is Shelley Old. She's going to take it, so third place, she's on the podium in the first of the World Cup. And here's the two riders who really put paid to the efforts of all the other squads, Ellen van Dijk and the winner, Lizzie Armitstead. Here's the result then of the first round of the UCI Women's World Cup. Lizzie Armistead wins in 3 hours 51 minutes and 3 seconds. Her breakaway companion Anne van der Breggen in second, and Shelley Olds takes third, 29 seconds down. Looking there at 17th place is Lita de Jong. She will take the best young riders jersey at the end of today's race.
Ellen van Dijk and Romy Casper chased on the front of the peloton, and they bring it just to 30 seconds on the Van Berg, and then it was for me to jump, and I did it. So normally I'm faster in the sprint, so I just had to be patient and confident.
A thrilling end to the Ronde van Drenthe, seeing Lizzie Armistead take the first victory of the 2014 season. There's our podium. Third place Shelley Old, second Anne van der Breggen, and Armistead in the new leader's jersey.
Yeah, Lizzie was strong and she was coming very fast, and I tried to stay in front, but it didn't happen. So I knew when Lizzie was with me, it's going to be hard to take the win, because she's a good sprinter. But yeah, I tried everything.
Tracy Gaudry here, the UCI Vice President, presenting the jerseys for the leaders for the 2014 World Cup Series. We have Amy Peters in the mountain jersey. We have Lizzie Armitstead wearing the leaders jersey. Lita de Jong in the young riders jersey. And Ira Schlappendal, who actually designed these jerseys. She's wearing the sprint jersey.
All smiles from the riders on the podium wearing the different classification jerseys. We'll see these throughout the season. And let's hear from Ira Schlappendal, finishing 10th today.
I just attacked after the Van Berg, and just to break the race, and then we got pretty fast a big gap together, and it was a really good situation for us. And then I thought, oh, in 1K there's an intermediate sprint, so Anna said, yeah, you can take the sprint jersey, so I took the points. Yeah.
Here's the World Cup standings after round 1 here in the Netherlands. Lizzie Armitstead will take the leader's jersey to the next round, and there's the rundown of the top 10. Don't forget to join us on our new Twitter feed at UCI Women's Cycling. We're heading to Italy now for the Trofeo Alfredo Binda. From me, Anthony McCrossan, and Rochelle Gilmore, goodbye.